Another day of math, my fabulous friends. We are on Unit 5, Module 3, Session 3, and this one's all about area and perimeter formulas. So yesterday we talked about area and perimeter. Today we're going to talk about some different formulas. Before we do that, though, I do want to go over your homework from last night. Number one was that Hector says you have to measure the length of every side of this square to find its perimeter. Do you agree with him? Why or why not? Well, you shouldn't agree with him because the key word in that question was square. If it's a square, obviously all the sides are going to be the same length, okay? So you would just multiply one side by 4, and that would be your perimeter. For number 2, which question shows how you find the perimeter of this rectangle? That would be this one right here. 2 times 3 plus 2 times 8, and you would have 22. For number 3, Mr. Hunter is trying to find the distance from the end of his whiteboard to the other. Mr. Hunter is missing the whiteboard's length, okay? Number 4, which of these situations is about perimeter? It is determining how many feet of fencing is needed to surround a backyard. And number 5, Beckett and his mom are going to paint the living room. They need to measure the room so they know how much paint to buy. They should measure the wall in square feet, okay? All right, moving on to Home Connection book page 104. This rectangle has an area of 45 square feet. What is the missing measure? Show your work. All right, well, if it's 45 square feet, the missing measurement, so you can see that there is a question mark right here, which doesn't really look like a question mark, but it's 9 feet because 45 divided by 5 equals 9. So if you had one of the sides in the area and you were missing the other side, you would obviously divide because dividing is the opposite of multiplying, right? For number 7, Tom wants to find the area of his school's basketball court. Which formula should you use? Area equals length times width, okay? And number 8, Alexandra and her dad built a deck in the backyard. It had an area of 48 square feet and a perimeter of 28 feet. Circle the drawing that shows the deck they built. Well, you should have this one circled because it can't be the second one because 9 times 5 is 45. So that wouldn't be 48. Okay? And it can't be the third one because the perimeter of 32 is 32 feet. So the first one has the correct perimeter and the correct area. Okay, so now we're actually officially ready to start this lesson. So in this session, we're going to revisit area and perimeter formulas. We're going to work with metric rather than the customary units during this session. We will also finish the related assignments in our student books. We will be using the standard algorithm with fluency to add multi-digit whole numbers, and we will also apply area or perimeter formula for a rectangle to solve a problem. And today we will work with area and perimeter of rectangles in metric units. Okay, so this is our first problem here. We have to find the area and perimeter of a 25 centimeter by 76 centimeter rectangle. We know that area equals length times width, right? Which would mean that area equals 76 times 25. So now if you don't have room, you go to the side, find a little spot, and we multiply. 6 times 5 is 30. 5 times 7 is 35 plus 3 more is 38. I like to change colors just so I don't get confused. I'm going to cross off the 3, I've used that. Cross off the 5, I've used that. And put my mandatory 0. Okay, now I start with my 2. 2 times 6 equals 12. 2 times 7 equals 14 plus 1 more is 15. Add those together. And I have 1,900. Okay, so the area then of this is 1,500. Okay, and that would be centimeters squared or square centimeters, okay? But I also need to find the perimeter. Okay, so for perimeter, this is a rectangle, okay? So I'm going to do 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, all right? 2 times 76 Let's figure out what 76 times 2 is real quick here. That is 152. And then 2 times the width, 25 times 2 is 50. So 152 plus 50, so the perimeter is 202 centimeters. Remember that with perimeter, you don't square it, okay? Okay. So remember though, also, when you're doing area, obviously you're doing length times width, okay? Very important, you just remember that. And you always, 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 always square your answer, okay? When you are doing perimeter, if you're using a rectangle, you're going to use this formula. But if you're using a square, you're going to use that formula. So just know the difference between the two when you're solving your problems, okay? All right, what I want you to do right now is open up your student book to page 197, okay? This page shows several students' strategies for finding the area and perimeter of that 25 centimeter by 76 centimeter rectangle that we just solved, okay? So I want you to look at problems 1A and 1B. 1A and 1B, okay? I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here, and I'm going to solve a few of these with you, and then you're going to do the rest on your own. I'm going to zoom in as much as I can before I can't anymore, okay? Okay, sorry about that. All right, so students are solving area and perimeter problems. What kind of problems are they solving? Write area or perimeter next to each equation or statement. Okay, so for A, if you've got 25 plus 76 plus 25 plus 76, definitely solving for perimeter, right? Okay, so then moving on to that next one. For B, 2 times 25 plus 2 times 76. That, my friends, looks very, very, very similar to what we were just solving. And so that is also perimeter. That is when you're solving perimeter of a rectangle. I'm going to do a couple more with you, and you're going to do the rest of them on your own, okay? So let's look at C, 25 times 76. If I'm just multiplying the sides together, that sounds like length times width to me, so that would be area, okay? For D, if I were multiplying two sides together again, and they were 50 times 38, that would also be area. Okay, I'm going to do just two more with you, and you're going to do the rest on your own. E, 20 times 76 plus 5 times 76. Boys and girls, that is the same thing as 25 times 76, okay? I know it looks a little interesting, but you're still solving for area with this one, okay? Last but not least that I will do with you before you do the rest on your own would be length times width. Boys and girls, that is the formula for area. Okay, so you're going to do G, length plus width plus length plus width. Think about whether that's area or perimeter. 2 times length plus 2 times width. Think about whether or not that's area or perimeter. The answer is labeled in square units. That's either area or perimeter. And then the answer is labeled in linear units. That's either area or perimeter, my friends. And then number 2. Terry was finding the area and perimeter of a rectangle, and then she spilled ketchup on her work. Yikes, okay? So you can see those ketchup blobs there, which to me kind of look like shadow puppets, but they're not. So you're going to use the information in the picture above to draw Terry's rectangle and label the dimensions. All right, so you want to draw the rectangle, and then be sure to label the dimensions, and then solve, okay? I want to see your work. And then for B, so remember to solve this and show your work. For B, write the numbers that got covered with ketchup on Terry's work, and also circle the word to show whether each equation involves finding the area or the perimeter of the rectangle. So here, you're going to have to circle area or perimeter, and here, okay? Circle, all right? Don't forget to do that. So you finish this on your own. Okay, student book, page 198. Okay, Terry used an over strategy to multiply the dimensions of the rectangle. Show and describe a different multiplication strategy Terry could have used to find the area of the rectangle. You can really do this any way that you want to, okay? I'm going to give you just an idea, but you might have a different idea. So Terry could have used a table. I won't fill in the table for you. Terry could have added some numbers together to get another number. There's, a few different things that Terry could have done. And then, so I want you to solve that one. And then for number 4, the area of a rectangle is 4,500 square centimeters. One dimension is 30 centimeters and the perimeter is 360. What is the other dimension? Okay, the area of a rectangle is 4,500, okay? One of the dimensions is 30 cm. We don't know the other one, but we know that the perimeter is 360, okay? What is the other dimension? So you're trying to figure out what this dimension is using the information that you have, okay? So go ahead and figure that one out. And then for student book page 199, so I know there's a lot of student books pages here, and that's okay. I'm going to do the first one with you. A rectangle with dimensions of 22 times 89. We have to solve area and perimeter. It's always good to draw a picture, right? 22 and 89. Area. When you're solving for area, it's length times width. So the area equals 89 times 22. 89 times 22, okay? Well, 9 times 2 is 18, okay? 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1 more is 17. All right, 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1 more is 17. I add together. And I have 1,958 centimeters squared. And then I'm going to solve for perimeter. This is a rectangle. Perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. All right, so that's 2 times 89 plus 2 times 22, okay? 2 times 89. If I'm not sure what that is, I got to solve that on my own, right? 89 times 2. 9 times 2 is 18. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 1 more is 17. That is 178, boys and girls. Plus 2 times 22, that's 44. Think about what 178, whoopsies, plus 44. 178 plus 44. All right, well, 8 plus 4 is 12. Whoops. 8 plus 4 is 12. 7 plus 1 is 8. Plus 4 more is 12 again. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So my perimeter is 222 centimeters. I know that seems like a lot, okay? But here you go. So you're going to finish 2, 3, and 4, okay? So you're going to finish that page also. So you will essentially be doing pages 197, 198, finishing them because I started them for you, and 199. And last but not least, boys and girls, the last thing that you're going to do is you're going to choose at least two of these IXL lessons to complete. So it's 4th grade IXL, fourth grade math IXL, BB, which is geometric measurement, and you're going to do either BB 13, 14, 15, or 16. Choose 2 of them at least. If you want to do all 4, go right ahead. But just make sure you choose 2, okay? And that is the rest of your lesson for today, all right? Remember how proud of you I am. I know that this is not normal. This is not our normal routine, but you're doing a great job. Please make sure that you're watching the videos, okay? I know how many people are watching them, and there should be a lot more. I don't want you to fall behind because you're not watching the videos, okay? We don't want to have a hard time in 5th grade math because we chose not to do the remote learning of 4th grade math properly, all right? So keep up the good work, boys and girls. I'm here if you need me, and have a great rest of your day.